When it comes to the most thrilling forging material in the Forged in Fire competition, it's definitely this mini steel slug. This thing can not only be hammered into a good knife just like spring steel, but it was also required by the show's producers to be hammered into a master key that can open material locks. So for this competition, the show's producers upgraded the competition format. The rules required the contestants to first use a mini steel slug as the material to forge a key to open the lock, and then use the materials inside to forge a distinctive short blade. Although the difficulty had been pushed to the limit, the 3-hour forging time was not extended. As the host gave the order, the 3-hour competition timer started. After heating the steel slug, Ritz directly flattened it under the action of a press. Then he used a hand hammer to shape it roughly, and finally adjusted the details with a grinder. Although his idea wasn't a problem, the keyhole didn't match perfectly, and he failed to open it after trying for a long time. Brand used the same method as Ritz, but after a series of operations, he also failed to open the material box. Helplessly, he had to continue adjusting the details. Thane's method was different from the previous 2 contestants. After heating the steel slug, he hammered it into a strip shape. Then after grinding, he successfully opened the lock directly and got 2 pieces of steel plate spring steel. This kind of material can be said to be the easiest to handle among them. After all, its shape itself is close to that of a knife, and it can be forged into a knife without excessive processing. Kelly on the side was very envious when she saw the steel. She wanted being taken away. At this moment, she had to speed up and seize the opportunity to choose other relatively simple steel materials. Soon she hammered out a key, successfully opened the lock, and took out the coiled spring steel inside. Although this kind of steel was a bit more complex than the steel plate spring, and tested the contestants' physical strength more. These were not a problem for Kelly at all. With a few heavy hammer blows, the spring steel was basically straightened. Next, she just needed to forge it again, and then she could directly forge it into a knife shape. 1 hour had passed. After repeated adjustments, Brand finally opened the elevator cable box. Although this kind of steel was extremely difficult to handle, it was excellent steel for Brand. He first divided it into small sections, and then after forging it, he directly placed it on tongs and started twisting. His plan was to twist 2 small sections, and then combine them into one to forge into a knife. Ritz was the last one to obtain the steel. At this time, he had no choice left. After getting the steel slug, he quickly started heating and forging it. The difficulty with this kind of steel was that, when pressing and hammering it, it had to be done at a high temperature, otherwise cracks were likely to occur. Thane, who was the fastest, was the first to fuse the 2 steel plates, but to his surprise, under the action of the press, cracks appeared in the steel billet.